Today we're going to learn all about the exciting world of genetics and how you can use it in real life to guess what your offspring might look like. But we have to start at the beginning. A long time ago there was a man named Gregor Mendel. He taught natural science to high school students. Little did they know, he would go on to explain what was once a big mystery to us all. Mendel discovered the laws that governed the world of genetics. These laws came to be known as Mendelian Genetics. Genetics is the study of heredity, and it's everywhere. Dogs have it. In fact, all animals do. Plants even have genetics to determine everything that makes that plant how it is. Big and small, if you're alive, you have genetics. Eye color is one basic example of a gene you have. Genes also control a lot of other things. For example, if you need glasses, and other disabilities or diseases can sometimes be passed down genetically. Genetics also controls certain skills and muscle abilities you may have. The way you act, think, feel, your IQ, your body shape, and even your gender are all majorly affected or even determined by genetics. So how does genetics work? Let's take a look at a simple trait we all have. The ability or not to roll your tongue into a burrito. Try it now. If you can, that means that at least one of your parents can do this as well. This is because it is a dominant allele. Our parents give us two alleles, one from each. It can be dominant or recessive. If you have one dominant allele, you will show it, and you must both have recessive alleles, or be homozygous recessive, to show the recessive trait. Rolling your tongue is dominant, so there is a higher probability you can do it. We can predict the probability that you can roll your tongue based on your parents' genotype, or a set of alleles, with a simple table called a Punnett square.
The book and hold it tight, mind your fingers, it wants to bite. All the smell, it's getting strong and big. Just to meet the top of the balls and now the comedy is over quick. Christmases ago, the landlord at the Star said, "Here's a Christmas box for you."
Let's try making a Punnett square together. First, you make a square. Then you put your mother's gametes or sex cells on top and your father's on the left going down. Then, match them up, making a grid with 4 new sets of genotypes. These are the child's possible outcomes. Now let's do it with tongue rolling, or not. To do this, you must use a letter to represent a recessive allele and a capital letter to represent a dominant allele. Let's use the letter B. Say your mom can't roll her tongue, but your dad can, and he has one recessive allele. These are the children's outcome. You would have one of these genotypes, assuming you weren't adopted. Now it's time to play the Genetics Wheel of Fortune. Welcome to the Genetic Wheel of Fortune, where we will predict the genetic outcome of your child. Do you want to have a pretty baby? Mm-hmm. We know you do, so we're here to help you try and figure that out. Here's what we're going to do. You will each be handed a card with a question mark on it, and you will be told by this card your gametes, which will represent what you donate to your child. Do not go into labor yet. What we're going to do is we're going to hand you these cards, and as you draw them, we will fill them out. These, Mr. McPherson, have been assigned to you. Do not look at them yet. And these, Mrs. McPherson, have been assigned to you. Now, Mr. McPherson, as you draw this card, I will fill out your Punnett square, which will help us to figure out if you're going to have an ugly baby or not. Now, Mr. McPherson, will you please draw your first card and show it to our studio audience?
It's pretty.
Pretty, very nice. Now, we will use the symbol P and put a recessive, because pretty is recessive, P under your genes. All right, would you please draw again? Another pretty, you're off to a good start. And now, Miss McPherson, if you would be so brave as to draw your first card. Ugly! Ugly. Oh. Ugly. Ugly. Well, you still got another card to draw. Don't draw it yet, because we're going to fill out your Punnett square with that big P for
generic card? Let's cross our fingers, folks. Oh, it's ugly. Well, let's fill out this Punnett square. You've got a big P and a little p. You've got another big P over here, thanks to your loving wife. All right? And another big P and a little p again. And a third big P. It looks as though you have no other option than to have ugly baby. Well, Mr. McPherson, it looks as though you're going to have to find yourself a new wife because she's ugly. And so is your baby. Here, this baby better. Thank you for joining us for another happy and healthy episode of Is Your Baby Gonna Be Ugly on the Genetic Wheel of Fortune.